Tennis, Eala bows out of ASB Classic after 3-set heartbreak to China's Wang. Eala endured heartbreak as she bowed out of the Auckland Open semifinals. The 20-year-old tennis ace put up a valiant stand but fell to China's Wang 7-5, 5-7, 4-6, in the semifinals of the ASB Classic on Saturday at Centre Court of the Manuka Doctor Arena in New Zealand. Eala faced an early 4-game deficit and was on the brink of dropping the opening set after falling behind 1-5, but the world number 53 responded by winning 6 straight games to steal the frame. However, despite holding a 5-3 lead in the second set and having multiple chances to close out the match, Eala was unable to capitalize, as Wang reeled off 4 straight games to force a decider before taking control of the third set. Eala also took a medical timeout early in the deciding frame while trailing 0-3 due to an apparent back issue, one that hindered her comeback hopes. The Filipina star booked her semi-final berth on Friday after dispatching Poland's Magda Linette 6-3, 6-2 in the quarterfinals. Earlier, Eala had also bowed out of the women's doubles semifinals alongside her American partner, Iva Jovic, following a 5-7, 3-6 loss to the Chinese duo of Su Yifan and Yang Zhaoxian. Tennis has a way of compressing a lifetime into a few square meters of court. In Auckland, beneath the clean blue of the ASB Classic, that compression became painfully vivid as Alexandra Eala bowed out after a 3-set battle against China's Wang, an ending written not in silence, but in the small sounds that define heartbreak, the scrape of shoes, the sigh after a missed forehand, the applause that arrives a fraction too late to change anything. For Eala, the match was never just about survival in a draw or a line on a results page. It was about belonging, about staking a claim in the long conversation tennis holds with its future. Each rally felt like a sentence spoken with urgency, each changeover a pause to consider whether the story would continue or conclude. The opening exchanges carried a sense of discovery. Eala moved with the unencumbered clarity of youth, her lefty patterns carving angles that forced Wang to reconsider space. The ball traveled like a question mark, looping high before dropping sharply, asking Wang to answer again and again. There were moments when the crowd leaned forward as one body, sensing that something fragile and promising was forming, like glass under heat, ready to become something stronger. Wang, though, is a player forged in a different kiln. Her tennis is measured, economical, built on patience rather than punctuation. Where Eala painted with bold strokes, Wang sketched with charcoal, shading the court inch by inch. She absorbed pace, redirected intent, and waited for the slightest wavering. Tennis, after all, is a sport of waiting, waiting for the ball, waiting for an opening, waiting for the opponent to blink. The first set the tone, a dialogue rather than a monologue. Momentum changed hands without ceremony. When Eala surged, it felt like wind filling a sail. When Wang responded, it was as if the wind had been calculated all along. By the time the set concluded, neither player had been diminished. The match had simply decided to grow more complicated. In the second set, Eala found her fire. Her footwork sharpened, her choices bolder. She stepped inside the baseline with the confidence of someone refusing to be defined by caution. Winners came not as accidents but as declarations. The crowd, sensing the shift, became a participant, every clap an endorsement, every cheer a small vote of confidence cast into the air. This is the cruelty and the beauty of tennis. Form can bloom suddenly, but it must be defended relentlessly. Wang did not retreat. She adjusted. She slowed the tempo, stretched rallies, turned Eala's ambition into extra steps and longer breaths. The match lengthened, and with it the emotional distance between winning and losing narrowed to a thread. By the third set, the court felt heavier. The sun seemed to linger, the ball to linger longer still. Each point carried consequence. Errors were no longer just mistakes. They were memories replayed instantly in the mind. Eala fought not only Wang, but the invisible opponent that arrives late in matches, the awareness of what is at stake. There were flashes of brilliance that reminded everyone why Eala's name carries expectation. A backhand threaded down the line like a needle through silk. A serve that kicked high and wide, opening the court like a door briefly left ajar. Each time, hope surged. Each time, Wang closed the gap with discipline and resolve. Heartbreak in tennis is rarely theatrical. It doesn't announce itself with drama. It arrives quietly, disguised as a routine rally gone wrong. One point tilts the balance. Another confirms it. When the final exchange ended, it wasn't collapse that defined Eala's posture, but stillness. The kind of stillness that comes from understanding that effort does not always equal reward, and that growth often passes through loss. As they met at the net, the moment held mutual respect. Wang's victory was earned, shaped by experience and composure. Eala's defeat was no less valuable, shaped by courage and possibility. The scoreboard recorded a result, but the match itself recorded something deeper, a measure of where Eala is and where she is going. Walking off the court, Eala carried more than disappointment. She carried information. Tennis teaches this better than any classroom, that every match is a lesson written in sweat and repetition. The angles she chose, the patience she tested, the moments she might one day play differently, all of it will return, refined in future tournaments. The ASB Classic did not end with a trophy for Eala, but it offered something just as important: evidence. Evidence that she can stand in long, demanding battles. Evidence that her game can trouble seasoned opponents. Evidence that heartbreak, while painful, is often the price of proximity to something greater. In the quiet after the applause fades, tennis players live with their matches longer than fans do. They replay points not to punish themselves, but to understand. Somewhere beyond Auckland, Eala will practice again, hitting the same shots with slightly altered intention. And when she returns to another court, under another sky, this three-set heartbreak will not be a scar. It will be a seam holding the next chapter together. Because tennis, in the end, is not only about who wins today. It is about who learns enough to win tomorrow.